I'm Chris with Spot Hogg Archery Products. In this video, I'm going to show you how to sight in a Hogg Mob sight with a multiple pin pin guard. Before we get started, let's review all of the adjustments that are available during the initial sight-in phase. The first course elevation adjustment is the sub mount location. Removing the two sub mounting screws will allow you to reposition the sub either higher or lower on the rack. If you move the sub, it would be good to double check your second and third axis after relocating this. The second course elevation adjustment is the position the pin guard is mounted vertically on the third axis pin guard adapter. Using the spacer and the two provided screws, you can position the pin guard up and down as needed, as well as in the 4 horizontal mounting locations described in the Hogg Mob attaching multiple pin housing video. That is why it is recommended to use your pin guard course adjustment before using the sub course adjustment if possible. Third, you have the course elevation adjustment of the bull knob as well as the micro adjust knob. And last, you can adjust each pin in the pin housing via the individual pin micro adjust. The first thing you're going to want to do is sight in all of your pins. Start up close around 10 yards to make sure that your top pin is at least getting your arrow on the target. If it needs just a little elevation adjustment, use either the individual pin adjustment or the bull knob vertical micro adjust to get it close. If it needs a large elevation adjustment, you might want to bolt the pin guard higher or lower on either the sub or pin guard attachment. Once you're close, step back to 20 yards and use your vertical micro adjust and horizontal micro adjust to get your top pin dialed in at 20 yards. Once the top pin is set, continue sighting in the rest of your pins using each of the individual pin micro adjust. Once you have all your pins sighted in, you can move on to the sight tape. The calibration scale requires you to shoot in at 20 and 60 yards with the same pin. As long as your first pin is set at 20 yards, you can install a calibration scale on your bull knob so that the pointer is pointing to 20 on the scale. Don't worry if the pointer is a little off. Once you get the scale stuck on, you can adjust the pointer by loosening the 2 Allen screws and sliding the pointer up and down until it lines up with 20. Using the bull knob and the micro adjust, you need to sight in your 20-yard pin at 60 yards. Move the whole sight down until your 20 pin is now accurate at 60 yards. The pointer will now be pointing to either a red or black line with a letter next to it on the calibration scale. The letter represents the sight tape that you'll need to cut out and use for your setup. Now rotate the bull knob back to the 20 on the calibration scale and remove the scale. Typically, most people use the bottom pin as their adjustable pin, so you'll want to install the tape so that the pointer is pointing to the yardage that represents the bottom pin you sighted in. For instance, if your bottom pin was sighted in at 60 yards, then install the tape so that the pointer is pointing at 60 on the tape. So when you have the sight set to 60 on the tape, all of your pins are on. If you move the dial to a different yardage, then only your bottom pin would be good for that yardage that the sight tape reads. For example, if you move the dial to 74 yards, your bottom pin will be accurate at 74 yards. However, all of your other pins are now off. So keep in mind, anytime you move the pointer away from the 60-yard mark on the sight tape, the only pin that is accurate is the bottom one. This concludes sighting in the multiple pin housing on a Hogg Mob series sight. To learn more about the Hogg Mob sights, please view more of our Hogg Mob videos.